Alrighty, welcome back to another video on the early access Fluxwerks demo. Some clarification, this is a demo that is in active development from the devs. You can see here we are on version 0.2 and all the updates that are coming from the devs, and we can also see how frequently they've been updating since they launched the demo. So there are some active bug fixes going on, tutorial changes, even some of the actual construction costs are being changed through pretty much the feedback that the devs getting from the community from playing the demo. I just wanted to throw that out there. When I delve into this in the first video, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I'm not a big reader, and this game has a lot of reading for comprehension. So that's kind of why I struggled quite a bit. Obviously there are still a few bugs. Let's go and load into where I was at. I played a bit more and I have a bit better grasp of things. Unfortunately, I am running into a bug with the infrastructure or the logistics here. Pretty much if I place down any one of these items, it removes my ability to actually manually add and remove items from a building. So when I place down any one of these pipes or filters or even any of the belts, I wouldn't be able to access any of my buildings manually. And so I'm just going through and just clicking through and kind of like have this omnipotent view of my factory and just manually working through to get progression here. I did progress quite a ways, and I went through the tutorial to its completion. No, I'm still working on the tutorial. Actually, the last thing I did is I did build the boiler and the steam turbine, and that's where we're getting into fluids, and I'm trying to work out the temperature of like water input, and I'm seeing if I can kind of have a cyclical water coolant here. I know the temperature should rise to a point, and I was hoping that this filter would filter out the steam if the water would get too hot for the cooling. But still testing some of that stuff. I did see that the volcano of lava was coming down, built a wall, so it wouldn't burn off my my water supply down there. So you may ask yourself, why are we back then? Essentially, I just wanted to kind of update on what I've learned and just how in depth even just this demo has been. It runs really smoothly, I'll give you that, but there is a lot of just information. It's information overload. It's a high learning curve to the game. The more I played, several hours in, and I do have my preferences. So my first preference is definitely not following my little bot around. Like the navigation here is smooth, WASD, right click, rotation, but I personally find it much easier, especially to look at things, to be just first person. Just scroll wheel all the way in, first person. And I mean, that's also mainly because I'm over here manually collecting items. And then also tab to bring up your inventory. I feel like maybe that was early on in the tutorial and I just didn't see it. But that brings this up. So whenever you're in a storage, you can easily just click, takes it over, brings it out. When you're in a building, you can just click to pull it out, and that goes into your inventory. So you don't have to have your inventory open for that, but you do have to have your inventory open in order to throw something into storage. I was confusing this inventory look as the inventory when I was recording the first video. That was my mistake. And then also, in order to delete items, because I was struggling so much with storage and being able to like still mine things and collect things, so you pretty much let's see what I can destroy. I guess we can get rid of the 5 copper wire here. So it does say on there as a tooltip, just Alt hold right click and that will delete. Granted, it has to be in your inventory to do so. You can't delete it from you can transfer it, but you can't delete it from a storage unit, which I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I've really enjoyed playing this. I'm looking forward to where it can get to, but the infrastructure bug where if I place down any of these things and not being able to manually collect and place in buildings has really made this more of a grind than I think the developer is wanting. Because I would assume that you'd want to just build your logistics and have everything running fine. Like you can see here, I put down some tracks, but in order for me to actually still be able to access those buildings, I've got to save the game, got to reload the game, and then I'll have access to those buildings. So I have to like plan out all my logistics one step at a time, rather than what should be more of a fluent progression. So this is going to be a short video. I just wanted to kind of dive in, explain a little bit of a few things here and there. My progression again is really slow. It's not very far in depth, I don't think. Again, I just unlocked the boiler and the steam turbine, and I'm still trying to figure out some of these fluid dynamics. I can see here in this pipe the water's temperature, and obviously it's too hot to actually cool the computers, but like in here I can't see the temperature and there's no separation, which makes sense, it is a fluid tank, but how do I know how to actually build like a cooling system? And yeah, the wiki, I went through and I read through some of this. Some of the wiki is still, you know, being filled out. There are a few blank ones, I think, under the resources. Yeah, like it does tell you how to build things, but like there's some missing information as far as my comprehension goes. And also placing, whenever I was placing one of the fluid pumps, it would always place building the pipe. Even if I already had the pipe and I set it up to go from pipe to building, it would come down and be building to pipe, and I would have to demolish it and rebuild it. And I think it was because the pipe wasn't there. Like I'd when you're putting this down, let's give you a little bit of a visual here. When you're putting this down, you see you have your arrow direction, and you can flip that. So you'll want to say, okay, pipe to building, right? Well, if I do pipe to building, let's see if it does it for me here. And then I do pipe, and then I build that, sure. Look here. Okay, so it did do pipe to building. All right, that might have been a fix. But every time I did it when I was playing this yesterday, it would still say building to pipe. Like it would still be going out of building because that was the only thing that was connecting into, because the pipe wasn't there yet. I mean, it's just a little bit of deconstruction and whatnot, but essentially just the infrastructure, the logistics made it very difficult, because now, since I just did that one little test, can't manually, at least from this view, like I can't just like click on, do the quick insert and take items. If I want to actually get this stuff out, actually come in here, remove it, then I have to open my inventory to place the coal. And what is this, iron? And place the iron. But I can't do it from this view anymore, just because I placed down one of the infrastructure tracks. So it made the game a bit more of a grind than I think the developers want. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Very basic build what I have because of that. And I do like the style. The weather I've been paying attention to, but I haven't really seen like extremes. And I kind of looked at some of these overlays, and I'm sure in later gameplay these will come into more like bigger factories. You're gonna have more of an actual like response to the environment that both you're interacting with and is interacting with you. But anyways, that was this is Fluxwerks, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a small demo, I would say, mainly because of the bugs, but you could easily grind for hours on it. It's a good factory building game. Big, if they can get the infrastructure to work properly, I'm sure I could spend a good 20 hours in it. But because of that and having to save and reload, it's definitely killed my my interest in playing and grinding a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of this, and if there's a little bit more clarity on how fluids work, and whatnot. So yeah, let's go and show you a little bit. So I saw that the lava was like all the way up here at one point during my playthrough, and I was like, okay, is that expanding? I didn't think it was, but it was. And so I went ahead and I built a stone wall, just because I didn't want, because I think I built the stone wall when the lava was right about here. I didn't want the lava to go right into my my water here, because you needed that to cool and power your CPUs. And so there's a little cave or crevice, I guess, right here that I just kind of flowed it right into. And there's like, I went down there, there's a bit of a cave down there with just stone, no minerals that I could see on the surface. And I was like, yeah, I'll just pour it into there rather than it boiling off my water. I'm assuming that's what would happen. I actually haven't seen that happen, but just, you know, my logic circuits being like, we don't really want that lava flowing right into our river, or I guess this is our little lake here. So I try to divert it there. Yeah, so just a short little video. Thank you guys for stopping by and for the support. I will see you in the next one.